Yo, what's up, y'all? This your guy Ray Hama, one versus a million. Oh, I'm so glad to bring this to you. Yes, as you see the thumbnail and title. Yes, we're finally covering it. As the second season of this episode, Windbreaker, has ended. I believe maybe by like what, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, but anyway, y'all, hit the like, share, subscribe on your way in. As you join me on our night stroll as we chop it up real quick about the show Windbreaker, the anime series Windbreaker, season 1 and 2, basically in whole. Um, yeah, um, I would give it a full 10, but we'll go over that element that I feel that was a negative, for the writers and them to decide to put this character in there. But yeah, but anyway, I'm loving it, y'all. This show is awesome. Yes, and I'm saying I want more. I want more because this here, you have like this anime right here where it starts off with this character, Sakura, who's first time. Okay, shocker for me, y'all. Okay, um, first timer for me of seeing any anime character with the name Sakura, which I always, thought that would be associated with only women, you know, women having such a name. So, yeah, but his name is Sakura Hakuro. And basically, he's a kid, whatever, basically drop out, whatever, but he transferred over to a whole nother region to try to find this school called Furin. And it didn't hit me until like towards the end, the end of the second season. Me getting the whole gist of it, but it still left out a little mystery, which is Sakura's, a little bit of his background. Because going into this, I was thinking, okay, maybe he's going to be suffering through some, I don't know, Naruto complex or something like that, or whatever. But not necessarily, right? Not necessarily. Because, I mean, man, like, through this show is just, it exudes like masculinity and brotherhood, an ironclad brotherhood, which is the embodiment of what this is right here, this Hama Force right here. That's how I want it to be, like I said, but except for one element though, and we'll get to there. But man, our boy Sakura, like he's a tougher, you know what I mean? Shit, he knows how to fight and shit, but he realized, hey, his weaknesses, and where, hey, and he ends up coming realizing it frustrates him too, like, and he gets pissed because his job is, and his reason for going to that school, Furin, where these high school kids and shit are basically, I'm not seeing no police, y'all. Like, what the fuck? And it's like basically the whole territory, is controlled by schools. So I'm like, damn, is this like a whole region, Japan? The police force of Japan just said, fuck it, we're just not gonna deal. We're just gonna let them have it. We're gonna let them run it. The community wants to have, uh, kids. I mean, school kids or whatever. To protect the whole city and shit. Then okay, we're gonna let that be. What I mean? Hey, but there's different schools, so different regions. And and there's conflict when obviously that typical where one cross over the other's territory, hey, without no permission or whatever. So yeah, and Sakura, his syndrome, man, is like I was kind of a little confused at first with my boy, but I'm like, okay, I get your ass now. I get you, you know. And what's so cool and fascinating about his character is that, you know, what I can tolerate, you know what I mean, is the fact that he's he realizes that his desire of wanting to climb for the top, you know, to be the top guy in Furing, you know, because there's a reason why he had that in his thoughts in his mind. Well, I'll do because Furing, the old Furing, because now it's called Bofurine, which just gives us the name Windbreaker. The old Furing, you know, they fought each other like that. You know what I mean? It was kind of like on some savage tip and shit. But there was like 5 of them that decided to change it up. You know what I mean? Instead of, you know, fighting each other, you know, we from the top or whatever, they decided to unite. And by them uniting, therefore they became Bofurine. But see, Sakura, you know, like I said, his syndrome is that he realizes his desire to fight. I'm strolling, this damn dog barking. But wish I had something to give that motherfucker. But anyway, he kind of grew on me, man, because it's like, okay, he realized that his desire to want to rise for the top is nowhere near, you know, as glorious as fighting for others. You know what I mean? For those that care about you and shit. You know, and in this, while he's fighting, you know, different schools and shit, and he ends up seeing, you know, his schoolmates, you know, being attacked or whatever, especially by that one group called by that one school called Kill. And before that, with the whole I think the damn name was what, Lionhead or some shit. The school with the yellow and white jackets. Yeah. Now we're going to talk about that, but yeah, but back to Sakura though. He ends up basically, for the most part, coming out, you know what I mean, in his battles. But when his school, you know, some members had to intervene because certain challenges where he realized it was too much for him, you know, that kind of bothered him in a way. But you know, he realizing like, hey, you know, it's a great and awesome thing to have, you know, and it's best to, which is what the one girl there, Kano, this one girl who runs a little cafe, you know, shop or whatever, where she, you know, makes sandwiches for them or whatever, you know what I mean? But, and her and certain other people was getting to Sakura and helping them to see that, hey, man, you know, you have a great thing right now going on. You know, it's a blessing, you know, to have good friends, you know, people who are willing to be down for you, you know what I mean? And and so, you know, and he said, and they basically revealed to him, hey, that feeling you feel inside, that negative disturbing feeling, that's a natural feeling to have. You know, that pissed off and willing to to dispatch anyone, you know, that hurts you or yours. That warrior mode. You know, I mean, there's nothing where you make them snap, but then realize seeing that makes you want to snap and shit because he never really had what they feel that people like for coming to, offering, they basically treat him like shit. And his way for not allowing that to get to destroy him. So him to like all right, stream yard, not cool. But anyway, as I was getting to it, our board Sakura here learns that there is greater value in obtaining strength for us to protect us. Motherfucker, it's awesome. But yeah, I'm having my nice stroll. Like I walk, jog twice a day. But yeah, when I just wanted to chop it up, man. I was just itching to chop it up about this show. Oh man, woo! Let me tell you. Oh God, yeah, just there's greater value in that, man. Like, you know, what I'm saying, the strength power, you know, to protect others instead of looking at it in a selfish way. As he was, as he was at first embarking on doing, because he thought that the old Wolverine, I mean, the old Wolverine was still intact. But Ume, the leader, Uemea, I believe, yeah, he, him and some others, changed it over to where now it's called Wolverine, which is the title Windbreaker. And and man, our boy, he's fire. He's a fiery one. He always be challenging, even his friends and schoolmates, like, hey, you wanna fight? You wanna go at it? Oh, especially that one dude. Damn, I forgot his name. He's always like so gloomy. He's the one that's so gloomy and shit, slumped over. He doing shit like watering planting, but he's a strong ass motherfucker though too. He has like long hair. Yeah, and him and Sakura got into it. He crushed Sakura's cup because he still don't like Sakura because they was all sharing cups, and sandwiches and drinks or whatever, and he was passing around cups. And then when he got towards Sakura, he he skipped him, and Sakura was like, "Hey, what the hell is this shit? You know what I mean? What the hell? I don't get a cup." He's like, "You got enough cups?" Umi was like, "Hey man, just chill out. Give him a cup." Gave him a cup, y'all. Motherfucker crushed the cup and he crushed the cup, damn it, gave it to him. But he ended up trying to restore it back. But yeah, obviously, it was gonna look mangled. And Sakura was still drunk from that motherfucker. Oh, that was hilarious. But what was even more hilarious to me was when, okay, territories was crossed, and they ended up fighting the first school. They ended up fighting the Lionhead group, whatever. Damn, I forgot their name. Where the leader had like some kind of messed up complex to where he was more so focusing on being the strongest and treating his schoolmates like shit. Then it took for him to get his ass beat by Uame during the tournament to realize, like, damn, hell, I've been treating my guys like shit, and hell, they've been here the whole time. Like, hey, this is to have this, I mean, these awesome guys here, I mean, who love and care about me, man, as their brothers. So shit, like, damn, let me get my head out my ass, and get off this desire for, like, and looking at power as everything. Being the strongest is everything. Let me get off of that. So yeah, and yeah, that little tournament they had, that turned into some kind of like emotional drama ass shit. I was like, oh come on, man. It was like It's like down there each fight, it's like I'm fighting for this reason, I'm fighting for that. I'm like, come on, man, like what is this? Have fun and compete, motherfucker. And hell, whoever comes out, damn it, is realized to have the better condition, better conditioning, and the better skill and technique and all that. And it was awesome too because some of these kids, as I was saying, was using Aikido. Some of us using Aikido, and you got some sluggers in there or whatever, and some that are like really good and very good and evasive. So, and man, I was like, yeah, like the masculinity was exuded through this. I was like, yeah, you damn right. I am about those principles. The Hammer Force is about those principles right there. Hold on, I got something for y'all on that note. You damn right. What they stand for and the brotherhood they displayed and showed is is the embodiment of what the Hammer Force is. So let's show this here.
Anyone past this point who causes pain, who brings destruction, who holds evil in their heart, those pups are gonna get purged by Bufferine without exception!
We call them Bofurine, also known as the Windbreaker.
Yeah, that was after the first big fight when they got into it with some guys. They was gonna come through and cause trouble and destruction in the town where they control. So these school kids come out basically acting like the police force, saying like, "Oh hell no, that got us fucked up." Boom, and start beating motherfuckers' ass and shit. Especially, it started when they had to save Sakura, because Sakura's thought he could take on as many as he could. When he thought he could take on all of them, but he couldn't. And they came in and saved his ass. And that's when they made that chant, of their motto. Yep, that motto, yep, I resonate with that totally. The Hammer Force does. You damn right. But you see, to do just that, a lot of people think it's corny, boring, or chaos is better. Causing chaos and being toxic and demonic, is better. No. But you stay the hell away from me. 3 miles away from me. Shit. But man, I want more, y'all. Damn that shit. And this dude, because they're going into talking about their shadows, as they call them. The guys who didn't cut it. God. Who didn't cut it. So and they still operate, in their own faction, but they choose to operate in a smaller group. They don't share the same ideals. And one of them in this, they look at him as a legendary student, basically, who was a badass, and but Uemea said that, damn it, that, yeah, he could take him on. It's just another guy who's stronger than him he couldn't take on. I think his name is Killick, some shit, with a weird hairstyle. And, basically at the end of the episode where they showed them having bodies of other dudes, piled up and shit, shooting off fireworks off their body, piled them up saying, oh, he wants the fireworks to reach high as they can. Yeah. He was like, oh, I'm not satisfied with this. I need to pile up some more bodies, to make the fireworks reach higher. I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, this motherfucker, he look like he gonna be trouble. He might be trouble. So, but yeah, I wasn't into all that, Oh my God, I understand now why I formed this group, this crew. Thank you for, man. Oh my, just have the damn tournament, man. Have fun, man. Rocking each other and shit. See whose styles is better. That's what the hell I want to see. Damn all that other bullshit. Gotta make it more like the fight when they had with Keel. It was a little bit talking and shit, especially with the leader, who was a little psycho his damn self. Hell, he seemed to turn out to be more ruthless than the leader of that the Lion Head group. But my guy who always liked to have a sucker in his mouth and a damn in earphones. When he snaps, oh man, he's ready to go. He ain't playing no games, and he's like second year. So and they have their own rank system too, of course. Captains and all that, and then the students who are under certain captains and all that shit. So, and our guy Sakura and Nirei, who's choosing to be like Sakura's sidekick, like, whatever you need, I'm here. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help you make it to the top. Like, that's kind of, I mean, you would say thanks, but at the same time, I'm like, but that's kind of like a little creepy, but like, what about your own fucking goals, man? You know what I mean? Like, well, what you got going on? Like, hell, like shit. And you believe there's no females in this group whatsoever? Yeah. Speaking of which, get into that. Where it will be almost awesome. And what over here in the Humble Force, what we shall not embody, we shall not harbor, is any lady boys kicking ass like they're a lady boy Chun-Li or some shit with heels on. No. Over here in the Humble Force, all men are straight back. No bent backs over here. Amen. So, and I'm saying that to say with this character that they have in there, who is a transformer. I'll say transformer, but yeah, damn near. But yeah, you might as well say, yeah, cross-dresser, whatever. But, is beat motherfucker's ass. Who's labeled as one of the four kings that's under Uame. I'm like, okay, you allowed the title king, but they showed they threw that shit in there, that whole gender politic bullshit, that woke shit in there. I'm like, oh my God, y'all couldn't leave that shit out. Like somebody in the LGBT realm complain to you motherfuckers, if you don't put a character in there to represent us, we're gonna, you're not gonna get his punch out. I'm like, oh my god, get the fuck away from me, man. Like, dude. And then my boy Sakura, he had the best reaction. I'm like, yes, sir. Damn it, I will have the same creeped out, eerie ass reaction as Sakura. Especially too when that motherfucker said, "Would you?" The Transformer's name is Subakino. Subakino, but he tells them to drop the no and just call him Subaki. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's what your parents gave you. That's what God gave you. No, Subaki, no. Motherfucker, that's your name, Subaki, no. I'm not calling you no Subaki. Shit. But they had a big ass fight though, bullshit in this season, man, in this last season, with them trying to protect this girl that this one crew was after, who's basically their crew is like a for hire little mercenary little crew that goes around taking care of contract jobs, basically. And she was on that contract. She was wanted. And so the whole crew, I don't think Ume wasn't there, but not yeah. So it was Subaki, Sakura, all of them there was fighting this motherfucker. And they had their whole little emotional back and forth, little verbal tug of war battle with Subaki, telling them, well, it's okay. They having that kind of talk. It's okay if nobody will accept you, whether because of your race, your gender, or whatever. Be who you want to be, kind of shit. And I'm like, man, stop this shit. Let's get back to beating ass. So the guy that was the leader of the crew, it was a higher group, but they started out, they was poor. So they worked their way up to, doing contract jobs together to make money so they can feed themselves. Shit. Motherfuckers they needed toilet paper and food. What the fuck? So, they need to do what they need to do. But I'm like, neither one of you motherfuckers can find like any kind of job, paper jobs. Y'all chose to do this debaucherous ass shit. So yeah, that's wild. But Subaki, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it like this. That motherfucker do be saying like little flirtatious shit towards Ume. I'm like, yeah, I can deal with all that without all that shit. But it wasn't so like, oh my god, because I look at it like this. It's not too overboard. It's on the same level. I can look at it as like, hey, it's on the same level as JoJo Bizarre Adventures. How weird some of those characters be looking, especially with their poses, you dig, as everybody know with the JoJo Bizarre poses. Yeah, they even try to mimic that shit during, in Anime Con. Especially when everyone's be dressing up like them. Oh man. All different characters like your Giovanni's and chicks dressing up like Giovanni's. Yeah. And rocking the poses. And yeah. I look at that series as an awesome series. Straight up. So bizarre as it is, hence the title. But to me, it's a damn good show because, with the whole creativity level with it, and the writing and the twist and the So the mystery and the suspense is on a whole nother level. So yeah, especially with that one villain who was named Cars. Yep, that's right. His name was Cars. Look him up from JoJo Bizarre Adventure. That motherfucker was something else. And Dio was too. Dio was a son of a bitch. But yeah, but back to this show, man. Yeah, this nothing like it. It's awesome. I want more. Hopefully, this third season's coming out real soon. Hopefully, and I was trying to go live with this on Rumble, kind of like multi-stream in a way, but for some reason, this Rumble was giving me some problems with its functions, some of its features. It just made shit a little too difficult than need be. So hopefully Rumble fixes that. Yeah. The features and the functions should be very simple, but it's not. Yeah, so yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, man, about this show, and yeah, because I want to conserve my battery and all that. So yeah, let me know, man, what you guys' thoughts were, man, about Sakura, and him having the name Sakura. But his old mental complex, what he had going on, and the enlightenment that he received that helped uplift him out of his own disturbing and annoying abyss. So, and these and these people here in these in the anime world, the directors, writers, and them. What do you think about? Do you think it's crazy of them having this desire, this need to insert this whole rainbow coalition into these? No, not rainbow coalition, but the whole rainbow agenda in this damn in these animes. Like, can you overlook the fact that Tsubaki, is a shim, But like I say, yeah, we shall not harbor no lady boys over here. Give them how strong you is. Nope, straight backs over here. Thank God there ain't no lady boys on fucking on One Piece shit when it comes. On Straw Hat Luffy's crew. Thank God. Shit, thank God for that. Shit. Luffy better not be like to one of them damn things, be like, hey, come join our crew. No, Luffy, no. Leave that motherfucker be. But yeah. So on that tip, I'm out. This your guy Ray Hama, One versus a Million. Like I said, this is an awesome show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App if you're willing. I'm out. Peace.
Anyone past this point who causes pain, who brings destruction, who holds evil in their heart, those pups are gonna get purged by Bufferine without exception!
We call them Bofurine, also known as the Windbreaker.